Dear chip designers, today we are going to discuss about how the semiconductor shift is happening in India. If you're confused about which domain to choose in semiconductor industry, and I'm going to explain you how it used to be for last 10 years back and now how it is different. And I kept on telling this $1 billion chip industry, million Indian dreamers. If I see, there are three things. One, there is a global shortage of semiconductor industry. Second one, India is investing so much money in semiconductor industry. So if you see, these are the fabs coming in India. There are many more fabs are coming in India, and government is investing billions of rupees in semiconductor industry. Third one, because of demand in electronics and AI, the hardware market is increasing. That is, semiconductor requirements are increasing. And as a aspiring engineer or already a professional in semiconductor industry, or if you're an electronic engineer, how you can position yourself? What was different before and what's different now? The lot of fabs coming in India. It means we are trying to develop the entire product cycle in India. How it used to be different? We used to focus only on the design side or maybe on the verification side. Now we are focusing more on the from specification, fabrication, and even trying to get the product. So again, this entire semiconductor industry you can break down into three things. One is fabless company, second one is fabs, third one is EDA tools. To be precise, 20% of the design happens in India across the world, and 70% of the verification happens in India. This is what the trend used to be, and this trend is changing now. Each of this entire cycle from the specs to the product, that's what we are focusing. Now, as an aspiring engineer, so what's best for you? How you can position yourself, how you can think as a semiconductor engineer. We'll break down the roles of each of these, the entire cycle, and whichever you are passionate about and whichever is more demand, whichever the AI will not replace, those things you can focus in long run. The first one, design and development. Design and development was there before also, and it is there now, and it is like maybe 2 to 3x more compared to before, because before only top company, when I tell before, maybe 10 years back, only top companies like Intel, Qualcomm, Broadcom, TI, they used to focus on the design and development. But now, because of the government initiative, there's hundreds of companies are starting in semiconductor industry, even in the design and development. Again, if in the design and development, if you take, these are the various different roles: analog IC design, digital IC design, mixed signal IC design, custom or ASIC IC design, and RF IC design. Whichever you are passionate about, whichever you think that AI will not replace in near future, because biggest question I see is whether AI replaces my job. Semiconductor industry, especially, these are design and development, and if you are like about any of this domain, you can choose and you can go ahead to learn the foundations and fundamentals. Top 20% of the design happens in India, means these are the designs which are happening in India, and it will definitely increase sooner or later. Next comes verification part. 70% of the verification happens in India, especially formal verification, physical verification, even including nowadays mixed signal verification. And these are the two common things what we used to see for last 5 years back. Now what's different from now onwards? You will start seeing the manufacturing side of semiconductor, especially in the fabrication process, semiconductor materials, packaging, testing. These are the new roles which starts adding in semiconductor industry. Anything, you should not be, it's not that you should be expert in all the things, you should be master in one of the domains. Next comes EDA. I told you three different, if I break down the whole semiconductor industry, one is into fabless, second one is into fab, third one is tools. EDA tools, electronic design automations. There's so much demand for EDA tools. Either you can be design tools, simulation tools, verification tools. You can be expert in any of the one domain. Again, you will be placed better. Then the most important things are system and application engineer. Never before we are in the requirement of more system engineers, so that we can develop the product cycle from scratch until we have the product. These are the system and application engineering roles. And next comes the process technology. If you're an expert of any one process, CMOS, SDSY, FinFET, GAFET, or maybe if you're into research, so these are the process technology will be in high demand in near future. And then comes the reliability and failure analysis. Each of these domains which are linked will be each of the department in the semiconductor industry, and each department will hire you each department will have again 5 to 10 engineers. So you think in that perspective, okay, which department or which domain I can enter again in the semiconductor industry. I am good in technical, but I'm not so good in technical, but I love to be in the management role. If you have in good communication, if you think that you are having a management that skills, you can get into in the semiconductor industry, either in the marketing or business development or semiconductor IP licensing, foundry service. Even there are a lot of technical plus non-technical roles also in semiconductor industry. But get into semiconductor industry, you will be highly paid. Even include comparing an HR in the software industry, comparing an HRs in the semiconductor industry, definitely they will be paid high. Initially, again, initial hiccups of 1 to 3 years, it will be there definitely for all the engineers. But once you get experience, you are like not replaceable. So even though you are trying to get into the marketing or business domains, you can get into semiconductor industry. And emerging technologies, of course, quantum computing. I don't know the duration, but definitely quantum computing will emerge. And definitely, if we can integrate AI/ML into the semiconductor industry, this will be the boom. I'm not telling immediately, but definitely AI/ML into semiconductor industry. Many companies are doing this already, but it can be faster, and you can focus on the photonics, 3D ICs. But what my major takeaway from this video is, if you're an electronic engineer and if you're thinking that you won't be able to enter into semiconductor industry, it's not the truth. If you have a very good electronic basics, foundations, and good device physics understanding and MOSFET understanding, so you can enter anywhere. Even though if your target domains like analog RFIC design, you will end up entering in any of the domain. It's not like that, okay, if I cannot become an analog IC design engineer, RFIC design engineer, I cannot enter into any of the. It's not like that. So you can master, you can start dreaming whatever you are, wherever you are, but you can also focus. These are the other domains which are coming in highly demand. Hope you plan your career very well as an electronic engineer. And this is an era of semiconductor, and never before. $1 billion chip industry, million Indian dreams. Thank you so much for watching.